Hello people, this is Sonali, the Melodramatic Bookworm. If you've been here before, welcome back, and if you're new to my channel, welcome to the Melodramatic Bookworm family. I am here today to talk about the books releasing in 2021 that I am super excited about. There are 21 of these books because 2021, you get the drift. But there are 21 books either way if you look at it, and since there are so many, I won't talk much in detail about them. I'll just tell you the genre and overview and all that kind. And there are a lot of good books coming out this year, and from my favorite authors as well, and I am really pumped to get on with this year. So since there are 21 books that I'm going to be talking about in this video, let's just get on with it, and let me share with you the 21 books that are releasing this year in 2021 that I am personally really super fantabulously excited about. Okay, so we are kicking off this list with Matt Haig. Obviously, he has 2 books coming out this year, and one of them is called The Comfort Book, which is scheduled for release in July 2021. And this has been classified as a self-help kind of book which promises to give you comfort and warmth. And yes, sign me up for it. Give me, I want it right now. Please, because I will take self-help advice from Matt Haig any day. Any other author, I might think twice about taking advice from them, but Matt Haig, no, I'm going to take his advice. And I want this book, and I'm really excited about it. I don't know when I'll be able to get my hands on it because, you know, international releases, India releases, there's a huge gap which readers keep falling into. That's what happens. And the second book that Matt Haig has coming out this year is a children's book, and it's scheduled to be released in November 2021 as of now, and that is a spin-off from A Boy Called Christmas, and the book is called A Mouse Called Meeka, and the mouse character Meeka is taken from A Boy Called Christmas. And I haven't read Boy Called Christmas yet. I'm going to read it this year because, or even otherwise, the movie will be releasing in December, and once I read that, and then I can get to this, and it's going to be fun. It's Matt Haig, man. The second book, or the second author I could call it, because we've already gone through 2 books, but I'm counting them as one because just the author. But the second book that I am really excited about is by Nikita Gill. She is coming out with a new poetry collection which is called Where Hope Comes From, which is scheduled to release in February worldwide. And Nikita Gill's poetry has always been this kind of beacon in the darkness kind of thing, because I always look up to her poetry, up to her writing, to gain strength from it. And this book, Where Hope Comes From, it says that it's healing poetry for the body, mind and soul, and I'm all for it. I need it. I think we all need it at some point or the other in our lives, and especially after what we've gone through in 2020 and the uncertainty that 2021 poses. I think this will be a great book, a great impact in our lives it's going to bring. Next up is a book that's about to release in a few days. It's called Concrete Rose by Angie Thomas. You would have heard the author's name maybe somewhere, everywhere, because she has written 2 of my most favorite books of all time, The Hate You Give and On the Come Up, and she writes so brilliantly. There's so much power to her writing, and there's so much truth, so much warmth also in that, you know, familial connection kind of thing, and I love that about it. And her newest book, Concrete Rose, is about Maverick Carter. You might have heard Maverick's name in The Hate You Give, because Maverick is Star's father, and this is his story, and how from dealing with the King Lords when he was 17 and going to doing things for his family and about taking care of his family, it forms the entire story, and I am so excited for it. I don't know, it's still the international cover. I don't know if it's US or UK, I'm not really sure, but that red cover, I want that, but that's not available in India, even if I want to pre-order it right away, and I'm kind of heartbroken about it. The next book I want to talk about is the second book in the Crescent City series by Sarah J. Maas. As you know, I absolutely love House of Earth and Blood. It's one of my favorite books of 2020, and I I am so excited for the second book to come out that I don't know, cannot wait for November. But I'm also really patient because take your time, Sarah. Take your time. We're here. We're not going anywhere. Crescent City, if you don't know, is an adult fantasy series. It's supposed to be a trilogy as of now. That's what the author says. And the first one came out last year. And it was 800 pages long and it was stunning. One fast-paced, action-packed, full of twists. That story was... So the second one, can you please come? Please, at least tell us the name. The next book I want to talk about is a book by Abby Jimenez. She is the author of The Friend Zone and The Happy Ever After Playlist. The Happy Ever After Playlist was one of my favorite books of 2020. It was so... It felt me... How? It melted me from within, and I can't wait to read her other books. I haven't read The Friend Zone, but I have read The Happy Ever After Playlist, and I am so excited for this next one. It's called Life's Too Short, and it is touted to be the third in this Friend Zone series. I don't know from where these characters come because I haven't read the first book. But so this romantic comedy talks about Vanessa Price, who is a carefree woman who has quit her job, and I think she becomes a YouTuber or something. She wants to travel the globe and show her subscribers everything that she is enjoying and new things about the world. But then her half-sister, she leaves Vanessa in custody of her child, and now she has to take care of the child. She is housebound. And now enter a very hot lawyer called Adrian Copeland. He lives next door, and now things happen and they have to figure it all out. And I am all for it. I mean, I wish there weren't a baby in this equation, but... The next book is a book that was supposed to have released on 10th December and then it got pushed to 25th December and then it got pushed to 10th January, and I'm hoping it makes its way to my hands. And I think I am considering it as a 2021 release because that's what Amazon tells me, that it's releasing in India for this particular book. And I really need to make a reading vlog, so can please come home, please. Did you guess which book I'm talking about? Yes, that is A Sky Beyond the Storm by Sabaa Tahir. This is the fourth in the Ember Quartet, and it has been torturing me for ages. And since it's the last in the series, I won't talk anything about it. Google has classified it as young adult and high fantasy. I don't know what the whole deal with this is, but I'm hoping to read, vlog this series, and I cannot wait, man. It's been too long. It's been way too long. Please come home. Next is The Mask Falling by Samantha Shannon. This is the fourth in the Bone Season series, and I have the first three. You can see it somewhere here. Look, here, these three. And I'm hoping to read that series as well, although I don't know if I will. But since this is also part of a series, I won't talk much about it. But it's supposed to be a dystopian fantasy kind of series, if I'm not mistaken, and if I remember correctly. I loved The Priory of the Orange Tree, so that is why Samantha Shannon will always hold a place in my heart, because she writes so amazingly well. She has such strong women characters, and I love that about her writing, about her book. And this is also something that I really need to get started on, but I don't know when I will. Maybe 2021 is the year. Who knows? So that is why I'm excited about The Mask Falling. Like, I spoke about everything in the world apart from the book that I was supposed to be talking about. The next book on this list is The Last Queen by Chitra Banerjee Divakaruni. This book talks about Jindan Kaur, who became Maharaja Ranjit Singh's last queen, youngest and last queen, and this is their love story and all. Chitra Banerjee Divakaruni takes these strong women characters from history and writes about them, and that's what I love most about her work. She gives a different perspective to their lives. It's all fiction, and you might not want to accept that you could write a different perspective to that fiction, but that's what I love about Chitra Banerjee. She writes so epically well, and she brings out the strength within those characters in a different manner, and That's all. Next up is Malibu Rising by Taylor Jenkins Reid. I've only read one book by her, and that is Daisy Jones and the Six. The Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo is on my 2021 TBR, and I always know that she has a different perspective on human relations, on human emotions. And this literary fiction is set in 1983, and it talks about four famous siblings who throw a party, and over the course of this one night, this one party night, their entire lives are about to change. And I've already said this on my channel, but I feel like Taylor Jenkins Reid does this thing where she creates fictional erstwhile celebrities and she talks about their lives and how they went about things and their thoughts, their emotions, their lives. She constructs their lives in such a convincing manner that you wish they were real, and you wish that you could fawn over their music, you could fawn over their acting, and it's just a lot of things that she packs into each one of her books. So I'm really excited for this one as well. The next book is The Four Winds by Kristin Hannah. I read The Nightingale by the author in December and I loved it. It absolutely broke my heart. It was set in the Second World War, and this book is set during the Great Depression and in 1934 in America, and it talks about how people are affected and how the different choices they have to make. And yet another historical fiction book that is guaranteed to break your heart, my heart, while reading it. I mean, this talks about the American dream and all of that. I feel like Kristin Hannah is going to make it sound really beautiful. Next up is Club You to Death by Anuja Chauhan. Yup, Anuja Chauhan, I'd never have pegged to be writing crime books, but she says that this is sort of a cozy crime kind of book, and it's scheduled to release in the summer of 2021, and I am up for it. Because Anuja Chauhan's writing is so Indian, like it has those Indianisms that you call, and you'll just be transported. Like you'll feel like you're walking on the road and you are interacting with people as you read the book. And you have also that feeling, you know, oh god, this shouldn't be happening. Because there's a lot of that going on Indian roads, and that's also happening in the novels, and the way she uses that to further the plot and to wrap up the whole thing, it's simply mind-blowing. And to see that she is veering slightly off course and going in a direction that we did not expect, I am really happy because The next one is The Gilded Ones by Namina Forna, and this is the first in the Deathless trilogy. I think it's a trilogy, and this is a high fantasy series that deals with a lot of issues like racism, xenophobia, misogyny, abuse, and sexism, and a lot more than what just I'm talking about. But first of all, look at that cover. I usually don't like people on the cover, but this one is chef's kiss. I don't know, I think a lot of people got arcs from NetGalley, but by the time I realized that, hey, I should be looking for it too, despite my abysmal NetGalley scores, it was too late. And I don't think I would have got it anyway. Next up is another book with a stunning cover, and that is Firekeeper's Daughter by Angeline Bolle. I hope I've pronounced that right. But this is a YA thriller that talks about a native teen who has to deal with corruption and who has to pull it out, destroy it. As a biracial, unenrolled tribal member and the product of a scandal, 18-year-old Downes Fontaine has never quite fit in both in her hometown and on the nearby Ojibwe reservation. Downes dreams of studying medicine, but when her family is struck by tragedy, she puts her future on hold to care for her fragile mother. The only bright spot is meeting Jamie, the charming new recruit on her brother Levi's hockey team. Yet even as Downes falls with Jamie, certain details don't add up and she senses the dashing hockey star is hiding something. Everything comes to light when Downes witnesses a shocking murder, thrusting her into the heart of a criminal investigation. Reluctantly, Downes agrees to go undercover but secretly pursues her own investigation, tracking down the criminals with her knowledge of chemistry and traditional medicine. But the deceptions and deaths keep piling up, and soon the threat strikes too close to home. Now Downes must learn what it means to be a strong Anishinaabe Ojibwe woman and how far she'll go to protect her community, even if it tears apart the only world she's ever known. And if that doesn't sound interesting, to say the least, I don't know what does. Next up is The Heart Principle by Helen Hoang. This is a sort of a companion novel to The Kiss Quotient and The Bright Test, and it talks about the love story of a character from both those books. The character is called Kwan, who is a cousin of Michael and Kai, the male characters from the first two books. And I really enjoyed The Kiss Quotient. The Bride Test I was okay about, but since those two books I've already read, I thought this will also be a great love story to get into, and I added it to this list. There's not much I can talk about this particular book, or that I want to also. Next up is How the One-Armed Sister Sweeps Her House by Cherry Jones. This is a literary fiction set in Barbados, and this follows, I think, 4 people who want to escape their lives over there, and they want to escape the violence that has been caging their lives. And how this whole thing comes about, forms the entire story, is what I gleaned coming from a Caribbean writer and being endorsed by people like Bernadine Evaristo and Zadie Smith and Marlon James. I think this is going to go quite some distance and make an impact as well, and that is what we are looking for. Impact. Next up is a book by Jhumpa Lahiri, and even to this day I have not read another book by Jhumpa Lahiri other than The Clothing of Books. That's why I added The Namesake by this author to my 2021 TBR, and to see that Whereabouts is coming out in 2021. I think it's either a translation or a new edition, I'm not really sure. Google saying it was originally published in 2018, but this is the story of a solitary woman in an Italian city. I don't know which city that is, but she is navigating the paths of loneliness, of solitude, of solitary ramblings, of exploring the city and all of that. And you know, I love such books. Eat, Pray, Love is one of my favorite books of all time, and any book that says that, and especially if it's Jhumpa Lahiri, then I'm going to go and read it, because I will always be this much excited about it. That's what I want. My dream is to roam the world alone. That is like the ultimate dream, man. But I'm also an introvert, so that does not help. I don't know how those two things go together. God only knows. Why have you made me like this? The next book that I'm super excited or intrigued about is One of the Good Ones by Maika Maulite and Maritza Maulite. This book starts off when a teenage social activist is killed, and her sisters are obviously very devastated, because it feels like this sister is in a long line of black people affected by police brutality. But one of her sisters is rather disillusioned by the way that her sister is being remembered, like perfect and angelic and all that, and now she is wondering who can be called one of the good ones. And this sounds so powerful, so strong, and this reminds me of Angie Thomas's book so much, especially The Hate U Give. And I feel like these sort of stories need to come out more, and to see that they are coming out more, I love it. Next up is The Nutmeg's Curse by Amitav Ghosh. Amitav Ghosh's The Ibis trilogy is on my 2021 series TBR. Like I put them on that TBR, but I said like I don't know if I will be able to get to reading them, but I've heard so many good things about his writing that when I saw that his new book was coming out this year, I think it's slated to release in October, I thought, okay, I need to put this on this TBR list. Okay, so we know nothing about The Nutmeg's Curse, so I can't help you with it, but the title itself sounds so interesting, and it's by Amitav Ghosh, so yep. Next up is How Beautiful We Were by Imbolo Mbu. This is classified as literary fiction, and this is set in the fictional African town of Kosawa. And let me read out the blurb for you. It tells the story of a people living in fear amidst environmental degradation wrought by an American oil company. Pipeline spills have rendered farmlands infertile. Children are dying from drinking toxic water. Promises of cleanup and financial reparations are made and ignored. The country's government, led by a brazen dictator, exists to serve its own interest only. Left with few choices, the people of Kosawa decide to fight back. But their fight will come at a steep price, one which generation after generation will have to pay. Told through the perspective of a generation of children and the family of a girl named Tula, How Beautiful We Were is a masterful exploration of what happens when the reckless drive for profit, coupled with the ghost of colonialism, comes up against one community's determination to hold on to its ancestral land and a young woman's willingness to sacrifice everything for the sake of a people's freedom. Next up is Languages of Truth by Salman Rushdie. I am reading Midnight's Children at the moment, and I am loving his way of writing, his prose, his narratives, everything I'm loving. And Languages of Truth is a collection of non-fiction essays and speeches that Salman Rushdie has made, I think, and I'm all for it. I mean, his writing is so beautiful, so evocative. It takes some time for you to get into it, and you need to give your whole attention to what he's saying. And maybe, you know, that's what makes it better. Maybe that's what imbibes his writing into your very soul. And the last book in today's video that I will be talking about is drumroll please, Rule of Worlds by Leigh Bardugo. This is the second in the King of Scars series. I don't know if it's a duology, trilogy or what, but it talks about Nikolai Lantsov, the prince, the king. I mean, that man was something else. I read the Shadow and Bone trilogy and I know him from there, and I'm yet to read Six of Crows and Crooked Kingdom, but I feel like reading these will be a sort of in preparation for the Shadow and Bone TV show that's coming in April, and I'm super excited. And I'm not going to be talking much about Rule of Wolves, or not at all, because it's a series, and all these series are interconnected as well. Plus, Rule of Wolves is the second in the King of Scars series, so if I say anything I might spoil it, and that's all. I'm just going to... So those, oh my god, so those were the 21 books releasing in 2021 that I am really excited about. Which of these are you excited about as well? Is there any other book releasing in 2021 that you are excited about? Which was your favorite book of 2020? I don't know why I'm asking that, but which was your favorite book of 2020? Have you found a book that you love in 2021 yet? I know it's a little too soon. It's just 1 week has passed since this year started, but I'd love to know, and I'm hoping that you have found one book yet and that your year has started off to a brilliant start. But let me know in the comments below if you have any thoughts, anything you'd like to share. I'd love to hear from you. If you like this video, please like it and share it to spread the word. And if you like my content and would like to see more from me, don't forget to hit subscribe and click on the bell icon beside the subscribe button to get notified as and when I post new videos. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next video. Until next time, keep reading, keep watching, and add melodrama to your life.